They've only gone and done it. What are they doing? What are they doing? I'm in shock right here. I'm actually just... It's hard for me to actually be in shock, but I'm in shock right here. They've actually got rid of their only defender. They actually waived their only defender, lads. I'm in so much shock. I'm right back from pickup. I literally, again, I live very close where we were playing. As soon as we finished, I ran home. I haven't even showered yet because I gotta make this rant video. What is going on? And again, if you guys agree with me, please subscribe to this channel. If we can hit 11.8k by the end of the day, that would be insane. But if you guys agree that this is absolute brain dead, if this is just absolute brain dead by the GM, and I'm sorry, Lynn Dunn. I'm sorry, I get it. You were one of the best minds in WNBA basketball. But you're pushing 80. You were born, you're 78 years old, 77 years old. It's time to step down. It's time to step down. What are you doing? Listen to this. Christy Sides and if she and Caitlin Clark have talked about the whole taking one shot. No, I was just worried about defense these 48 hours since watching the game. You're worried about defense? Do you know who Celeste Taylor is? Do you know who Celeste Taylor is? Celeste Taylor is a 2-time college Defensive Player of the Year finalist. Last year, she was the Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year. The year before, she was the ACC Defensive Player of the Year. You're thinking about defense? And look, I get it. The head coach shouldn't have say whether or not head coach shouldn't have that much say on whether or not the personnel. Maybe they should, maybe they shouldn't. But you brought Wheeler and Wallace with you. You clearly have more say than we think. This clearly wasn't Lynn Dunn. As you haven't played Celeste Taylor, you can't talk about defense. You give up the right to talk about defense when you've got one defensive player sitting her ass on the bench. You've got one defensive player who not only sat her ass on the bench, you've waived her. You have waived the only defensive player in your entire team. You are meant to be a defensive coach. Look at this play right here. Look at this play right here. Look at this play right here. And if you've watched the Fever play, you guys know, not one player on this team can get through a screen. Celeste Taylor gets through that screen on DeWanna Bonner, comes in, forces DeWanna Bonner into a tough shot, gets her hand on it. I don't know if she put up a shot or she either altered it, or I don't know if she blocked a shot or she turned it into a pass. Either way, it's a stop. That's the best individual defensive play anybody in the Fever has made all year. And you got rid of her. Not only that, you still have Saxton on the roster. Look, I get it. You have, Dantas has been there. Look, you need Dantas. You need a big, especially while Tammy Fagbenley's out. Look, you need Dantas. So, cool. Why is Victoria Saxton still there? Why is she there? Is she just there for the vibes? She was never meant to make the roster. She was never meant to make the roster last year. She can't do anything. I'm sorry. She's been averaging 1 point a game for 2 years. She was a 3rd round pick 2 years ago. Why is she still on the roster? She can't offer anything to the team, especially with Dantas there. You actually have a player that is the perfect archetype for the Christy Wallace role, but you just keep playing Christy Wallace. If you had actually were a competent coach, you would have at least some stage say, you know what, we're a young team, we're going to win some games, we're going to lose some games. Let's try at least play a young player who'll run, and let's bench Christy Wallace, who is so garbage. People are calling it nepotism that the two of them are playing. I cannot believe it. I cannot believe it. And I get it. Again, if you know anything about Saxton, she was Defensive Player of the Year in the Belgian League. But she never used her either. But at least Celeste Taylor could bring something. You have no defensive guards. At least Aaliyah Boston's a decent defensive big. But what is this about? What is this about? I'm sorry. Lynn Dunn needs to be fired. There is no excuse. There is actually no excuse for this level of incompetence in basketball. Let's see the replies. How do you not play and then waive a good defensive player for a team that needs defense? I don't know. In an interview today, Side says she's been thinking about nothing but defense for 48 hours. Now you waive a 2-time Defensive Player of the Year without even giving her a shot. Again, Christy Sides is I think is equally at fault. How does Wallace still have a spot? Wallace doesn't do anything. She shoots 27% from 3, and you know what? She has a spot. They ran the play at the end of the game for Wallace to shoot a 3. She couldn't even execute the play properly. She missed the handoff. She forgot to catch the ball in the handoff. Coach needs to be fired. It's not even just the coach. It's Lynn Dunn needs to be gone as well. If you guys don't know, Christy Sides did not even want the job. Lynn Dunn begged Christy Sides to take the job. Lynn Dunn thinks Christy Sides must be Eric freaking Spoelstra. Cut Victoria Saxon to keep Dantas. Yeah, if you're not going to play Saxon, cut her to keep Dantas. Don't cut the only perimeter defender in your team. I cannot believe it. Like, this is where you're like, Caitlin Clark, just demand a trade. People are like, oh yeah, rookie shouldn't demand a trade. No, just demand a trade. This is Aliyah Boston demand a trade. Every single player, other than Kelsey Mitchell, Erica Wheeler, Wallace, you can get yours. The three of yous can all get yours. Any player that wants to do anything, that has any aspirations in basketball. If you have an aspiration in basketball, demand a trade from this incompetent franchise. They are incompetent. Lynn Dunn, incompetent. The owner he's one of the few owners that has admitted that this team is a tax write-off for him. He has admitted it's a tax write-off. Lynn Dunn, incompetent. Absolutely incompetent. Christy Sides, look, you were an assistant coach. You never wanted this job. Cool. I get it. But you are also not meant to be you are not good enough to be a head coach of professional basketball. And and again, this is not personal. You are just terrible at your job. And at the end of the day, it is what it is. Unfortunately, in basketball, it should be a meritocracy. Obviously, you playing Erica Wheeler and Christy Wallace means that it's not a meritocracy. Especially you taking Caitlin Clark off the ball because you're just trying to be fair to everybody. It's not a meritocracy for you, but it's clearly a meritocracy for other teams that are competent. There's a reason why this team has not had a winning season since Tamika Catchings. If this franchise did not have Tamika Catchings, they would have been losing everything. Since 2015, when was the last time you had a winning season? When was the last time the Indiana Fever had a winning season? When was the last time? I want to check this right here. I want to check the last time you've had a winning season. So, the Indiana Fever, they were pretty decent. So, again, they were decent at the start, especially once they got Tamika Catchings in. So, Tamika Catchings retires in 2015. You got to the playoffs in 2016 with a 500 record. Since then, 9-25, 6-28, 13-21, 6-16, 6-26, 5-31, 13-27. You're probably not even going to win 13 games this year. I'm sorry. And the funniest part is that Christy Sides has probably been their best coach for years. And you know what? Christy Sides, she was an assistant coach during this incompetent stage. They have not beaten a team. I'm not sure, again, how this season went. Because they only won 5 out of 40 games, so there's a good chance they haven't beaten a team over 500. But in the last 2 years, Christy Sides, the head coach, has never beaten a team over 500. She has an incompetent defense. She's talking about, defense. I've only been thinking about defense. You know what you've been thinking about? You're thinking about defense in a way of, we need to play less defense. You know what? I'm thinking about defense. What are you thinking about defense? I think we need to play less. I think we need to play less of it. You know what? Running the floor, even though that's the only time as a team we look good, is when we run at teams. Nah. We slow down. Kelsey, you do your Julian Newman Geo-wise impression. Go tween, step back shot, and just hope for the best. You keep doing you. You know what, Erica Wheeler? F Caitlin Clark. Put her in that corner. You're the point guard. Wallace, keep shooting those contested threes. Keep shooting those contested threes in people's faces. We don't care that you're shooting 25%. We don't care that you're shooting like 10% on non-open threes. Keep shooting them contested threes. Screw Caitlin Clark. Screw Aliyah Boston. You know what, Alyssa Smith? You've been cooked the whole game. We're still going to you. We're still going to go to you. Get your ego up, and you're going to airball a hook shot. I don't know why I'm going at Alyssa Smith. She's actually been decent enough this season. But, still, this isn't a freeze-out Caitlin Clark thing. They're freezing out Aliyah Boston. They're freezing out everyone. Anything that can help this team, they won't do. Clear shop. Get rid of Lynn Dunn. Great coach. Great basketball career. Not too far off, just in totality of her career, being a Hall of Famer. Let's be real. She had an incredible basketball career. She's 77 years old. Christy Sides, incompetent. Absolutely incompetent. I cannot believe it. I just cannot believe this happened. Either way, I'm going to go and shower, get some food, and you guys will see me talking about... I don't know. I don't even know what you're going to see me talking about the rest of the day.